Alright, so good morning, ladies and gents. Winston Goodsea, aka Ranting Winston. I'm just going to go through a couple of things here. Some off the bat, right off the bat, regarding our cabinet of ministers now for the government of national unity. Such a peaceful word. Well, number one, I'm very glad, I'm very happy that we have a system in South Africa now officially where it's not just one party rule anymore. I'm glad, I'm happy. South Africa should, a lot of people are so angry and so confused and so pissed off with the DA. How can the DA go into coalition with the ANC? How can Freedom from Plus go into coalition with the ANC? And yeah, people are so angry, but they don't see the benefits of what has just happened in this country. Officially, we have a parliament that represents the country. We have 11 official languages. We have so many different cultures and religions and ways of doing things. South Africa is the only country in the world that is so diverse, with such a huge amount of different cultures and languages and religions and races all in one area. And for the longest of time, our parliament has not represented the people of this country. Our parliament was a one-party ruling system, and I hate that word that they use, that rule. They should change that, and I hope John, because I will talk to John as well again, and I hope he tries and resonates that through the rest of the people in parliament. It's not ruling party, it's governing. Ruling is a dictator term. It's a communist term. You are the government. You should be seeing yourselves as the governing body of South Africa. That you represent the people of South Africa. But that for our next chat. I just want to go through the list quickly of what it looks like at the moment. So I'm going to try and do this to the best of my abilities. I'm not so technologically advanced, but I'll see if I can just swap this camera over for a second, and then we'll continue. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at this. We've got John Steenhuisen. Now, John Steenhuisen, of course, is the DA. He is the leader of the DA. So he is now the Minister of Agriculture, which is a good thing for the farmers. We have to think of this now as a good thing now. So it's a good thing for the farmers because he can now actually start making a difference. Start helping the farmers, because if you are the Minister of Agriculture now, John, then it is your responsibility to make sure that the farmers are safe and they can do what they need to do in peace. Okay, so we've got the Minister of Presidency, who's Kumduzo. I don't know how to pronounce it, but then let's move on to the next one. This is the Minister of Basic Education. Now, for those of you who don't know Sisiwe, she is actually the chief whip for the DA, for the Democratic Alliance. Now, which is a good thing because she's a very well-spoken lady, very educated, and very, 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 very good at what she does. So I'm glad she is the Minister of Basic Education, because now, being in the ministry, being in a position where they can start calling the shots, and it's not just ANC one-party rule, things should get better. I want to move on to Dr. Pieter Groenewald. Now, those of you who know Dr. Pieter Groenewald, he is, of course, the Freedom Front Plus. So, Dr. Pieter Groenewald is now the Minister of Correctional Services, which means if another Zuma saga comes up where the Minister of Correctional Services that was the ANC, didn't want to arrest Zuma, luckily now that can't happen because Dr. Pieter Groenewald is now the Minister of Correctional Services. Now, my favorite guy of all time is, of course, one of the bigger names in the game and has been around for a long time, is Honorable Schlabisa. Now, I've had the honor of meeting him and talking to him and being in meetings with him. A very, very good, well-spoken guy and knows what he's talking about, especially when it comes to the history of this country. He's been through it. He's been there he's been around. So he's the Minister of Corporate and Governance and Traditional Affairs. He has replaced that awful Dlamini Zuma. Thank goodness for that. So Zuma, Dlamini freaking Zuma is out. Thank goodness. I really like that. So now we've got back here, of course, who is now the Minister of Land Reform and Rural Development, which is a good thing, of course, because you guys know the PAC, they've got a very well established rules and regulations that they live by. So I hope things get better for the land reform and people actually start getting houses now that they need to get. So I just want to move on to the next one that's also on the list is, of course, this gangster right over here. Gayton McKenzie. Patriotic Alliance. Those of you who know him, yeah, ex-gangster. Well, you can never be an ex-gangster. Once a gangster, always a freaking gangster. Now, personally, you know, I don't like the way he do things because he likes to rocket through things and try to force things upon people. So I don't like the way he does things. But he is now the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. I don't know how that's going to go, but anyways, I'm just moving on. And then the old familiar name, Patricia de Lille. I didn't even think that Cope was actually going to freaking make it this year. But look, there she is. Patricia de Lille, Minister of Tourism, which is actually quite fitting because she likes to travel a lot. So I really do think that is a good opportunity, and that's going to be good for our tourism. There's one more thing I want to mention. Now, I have spoken to this guy a couple times, and he is an awesome guy, and I am happy for this. This is the Minister of Home Affairs, Leon Schreiber. Very well spoken gentleman. He's, of course, the DA. He's with the DA, a member of parliament for a long time with the DA, and he is now the Minister of Home Affairs. So, hopefully things with the Department of Home Affairs are going to turn around drastically. We are offline, and that they treat people like shit. Leon, dis nou jou verantwoordelikheid om seker te maak that the people get the service they deserve. You are the Minister of Home Affairs now, so it comes down to you. And then the next one I want to move to, which I'm also very happy about, is, of course, Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Now, Dean McPherson is, of course, he's a part of the DA. He is also a member of Parliament. Very well spoken, of course. So he's fresh in the game. Not too long. He's quite fresh in the game. But I am sure with him at the helms, our roads and our infrastructure should be making a turnaround. So I'm putting this video out there so that people of South Africa can see who is now in charge, or who is now being responsible, or should be held responsible if things don't go right. Now you see why the DA actually went and did the things they did, and put people in to get people in positions where they can actually make a difference. So with all in all said, I'm hoping that South Africans can start understanding. I want you to share this video far and wide. I haven't put any swear words in this video, so that's why it is family friendly and it can be shared to everyone. Share this video so that South Africa can start understanding what is going on, why the DA decided to go in coalition with the ANC, why Freedom Front Plus decided to go in coalition with the ANC. They did this because the ANC was in a very, I almost said a swear word, in a very shitty position. The ANC did not get the 50 plus, so they weren't the shots callers anymore. Now there were other people that were in play here. Now, the DA sits with 23%. The MK party, which just exploded from out of nowhere, had 15%. EFF, 14%. So if you take the 41, or the 43, 41, let's say 40%, from the ANC that they gathered with the national elections, along with the DA's 23%, that pushes them over the 50 plus 1. So which means, even if the other parties go in coalition, they can't be the dominant parties. So the ANC was in a very peculiar position. Should they go into coalition with MK, which they can't do because Zuma wants to be the president. So ANC can't go in coalition with MK because then Ramaphosa is going to lose his presidential seat, and he doesn't want to lose his presidential seat. He can't go in coalition with EFF because Julius has stated in numerous occasions that he wants to be the president. So the ANC can't go to those two parties and say, come join a board, I want to still be president, but I want your votes. Because none of those parties are going to give their votes unless they sit on the throne. So the ANC was stuck with a very, very, very shitty position. They had to gather the other parties, which is the DA, Freedom Front Plus, Gaitman McKenzie, PAC, all the other parties that are part, COPE, that are now IFP, that are now part of this government of national unity. They had to go into a coalition with those people, with those parties, to be able to keep his seat. Ramaphosa had to go into party because the DA is not too worried about being president. John Steenhuisen doesn't want to sit on the throne. He doesn't want to be president. He doesn't care about it. IFP doesn't care about being the president. Gaitman McKenzie, anyways, I'm not going to go there, otherwise, no, yeah. So none of these other parties, Freedom from Plus, are interested in sitting on the presidential seat. They don't want to sit on the throne. But, like the DA, they are clever. Because yes, being a president is nice. You are basically the spokesperson for South Africa. But the decisions and the movers of the country are actually the ministers and the deputy ministers, the people in the legislature. That's where all the rules and regulations and laws and movement comes from. It's from being in these seats, like being ministers, Minister of Education, Minister of Public Works, Minister of Arts and Agriculture, Minister of Infrastructure, Minister of Home Affairs. That's where this comes in. So the DA went into this knowing that the ANC has got nowhere to go. So they have to take the DA and they have to listen to what the DA wants. The DA wants, they want ministers in this position, they want that minister, that minister, that minister, and that minister. And the ANC had to give them that. Otherwise, Ramaphosa would lose his seat. He would lose his seat. Because just as quickly, the DA could have said, okay, ANC, if you don't want to give me these ministerial positions that I ask for, I will go to MK, I will go to EFF, put those two together, plus me, and we will be 50 plus, and the ANC will be out. You see how it is a chess game, people. This voting and politics is chess. It is so interesting. It is so interesting. Once you start digging into it, once you start seeing politics for what it is actually such a freaking interesting game. It is so mind intriguing. Because people see what happens above ground, but they don't know what the roots are, where everything works and how everything works. But it's so interesting. So, as I can say from my side, I'm happy that the DA went into coalition with ANC. I'm happy the ANC went below 40%, below 50%. So they can't just call the shots anymore. I'm happy to see that we have a government that incorporates us as South Africans. We've got IFP in there. We've got PAC in there. We've got Freedom Front Plus in there. We've got DA in there. We've got COPE in there. Yeah, all these parties representing different groups of people of South Africa now making decisions as one, which is absolutely good for South Africa. This voting, this that happened now, opened the door to a true, free and fair South Africa. Hamandla. Siyabonga kakhulu. Have a good one. Please like and share. And I will see you guys again. Join the YouTube channel as well, Free SA, where I will be posting weekly updates on there as well. It's a new channel that I've opened. So join the YouTube channel. Join the Facebook page as well. And I will definitely see you. My name is Winston Coetzee. Have a good one. Share, share, share.